Recording in progress.
Oh. Testing. Is that yours?
Okay, welcome to the August 27th, 2025 Parks and Recreation Commission meeting. This is a hybrid meeting with commissioners, city staff, and members of the public participating at the Aralaga Family Recreation Center in accordance with public health guidelines for in-person meetings and members of the public participating remotely. First, I'd like to introduce the commissioners and staff present. We have Commissioner Kim Dawkins, myself, Chair Juan Lee, Commissioner Michelle Sherman, and Commissioner Justin Bender. Staff includes Library and Community Services Supervisor Tricia Mullen and Management Analyst Ashley Walker. Ashley will be helping facilitate the meeting. Ashley, will you please take a moment and provide instructions to the Commission and members of the public on how the meeting will proceed?
Thank you, Chair. For members of the public who are attending this meeting virtually and wish to provide public comment, after the chair calls for public comment on the item you wish to speak on, please engage the raise hand feature at the bottom of your screen. For those who are calling in from a landline or cell phone, please press *9 to raise your virtual hand. For members of the public attending in person, there are speaker cards available on the table. Leave one intimating the staff before public comment is called on the item you wish to speak on. If there are a large number of public commenters, the time limit may be adjusted by the chair in order to allow everyone a chance to comment. When your turn for public comment has arrived, staff will meet you. With that, I'll turn the meeting to the chair.
Under public comment, the public may address the commission on any subject not listed on the agenda. Each speaker may address the commission once under public comment for a limit of 3 minutes. Please clearly state your name and address or political jurisdiction in which you live. The commission cannot act on items not listed on the agenda. Therefore, the commission cannot respond to non-agenda issues brought up under public comment, other than to provide general information. Ashley, do we have any public comments?
We have one public comment. John McKenna, you may address the commission. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you, everyone. My name is John McKenna. Nice to see you all. I currently serve as the chair of the Environmental Quality Commission. I'm speaking as an individual this evening. I live in District 4. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of elevate the topic I brought up in January. In January, the EQC had a presentation about artificial grass and single-use plastics. We had a presentation from Susan Henson from the Sierra Club. A lot of good information there just on sort of the costs and benefits of using artificial grass versus natural grass for our playing fields and our landscaping. She also organized a field trip in June that I attended up in Tiburon, McKegney Green. It's a organically managed natural grass playing field. So it was a really nice opportunity to see that type of field in person and talk with the maintenance staff and how they made the transition from using pesticides and whatnot to a more naturally organically managed field. There was also a woman there, Rika Gopinath, who's with Beyond Pesticides. And she has a program. She works with cities, local jurisdictions to do pilot programs to sort of help the city transition from using pesticides to organically managing the fields. They can provide technical assistance and consultation. They can help gather up real data, real costs, so that cities can make more informed decisions. So that was really helpful. There was also an individual there who brought some electric, robotic maintenance equipment that just sort of operates on its own at all hours of the day. Really kind of amazing, kind of like a Roomba sort of vacuum, if you can imagine that, on the playing field. And so, just sort of elevate my concerns around artificial playing fields. You know, first of all, they're derived from fossil fuels. We're trying to get off of fossil fuels. The communities that are located near those facilities that manufacture those products have a lot of, there's a lot of environmental justice issues. These fields, because they're plastic, they break down over time, form microplastics and nanoplastics that get into our water systems and our food systems. I mean, they're finding plastics everywhere, so I'm really concerned about plastics in general. It's often a question of like playing time of natural grass fields versus artificial grass fields. These organically fields are being shown to offer a lot of playing time that's comparable to artificial fields. But always factoring in is how much heat these artificial grass fields create on warm days. These fields can be literally 40, 50 degrees warmer than the outside air temperature. And so that can be really dangerous for our kids when they're playing on those fields on warm days. And you probably don't want to be playing on those fields on those days. So there's that playing time issue as well. There's also the risk of getting burns when you're sliding on those types of fields. So I just want to sort of elevate all of that again. And also just wanted to briefly talk about single-use plastics. I know tonight we're going to be talking about the 5K fun run and calendar of events. One other recommendation that came from that EQC meeting in January was really to have the city lead on sustainability and to eliminate single-use plastics from city-sponsored events. So I would just ask that you sort of, whatever ability you have to factor that into your advice to the city and council would be great. So I just said, just to summarize, I would love it if you haven't already to review that EQC meeting and listen to Susan's full presentation. It's got a lot of great information that I mentioned and more that I didn't. It would be awesome if we could schedule something on your agenda for Rika to come in and make a presentation about her sustainable parks program, so you can learn more about that. And I still have this hope that we can maybe change the direction of Kelly Park. I know it's already planning to go to another artificial turf field, but maybe as we gather more information and understand the costs of artificial grass, we can maybe turn that back to an artificial, to a natural grass field. And then again, just like factoring in sustainability when you talk about the events that you're scheduling for the calendar and the 5K fun run. And I don't know exactly how the city works when they make decisions, but I just want to get in front of this stuff before these decisions are made and it's too late. So thank you all for your time.
Thanks for your comments.
Have a great meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There are no others.
I know I think it's optional for us to comment on that, but, we, just for commission members, we've been in, communication with John, on the EQC, commission about this issue. I think, this is gonna be a more pressing issue when there is a capital project that is gonna have either a field replacement or a new field altogether. Kelly Park is only one that is currently undergoing. But that's already, I'm not sure exactly all the logistics, but I think that's moved on to implementation at this point, so there's real no recourse there for that unless we're gonna deprive, District 1 of a, huge field, so, yeah, so that's kind of the background on it, but I think these comments are. So, yeah, cool. Okay, if there are no other comments, moving on to item D1. A study session on planning the 5K fun run. Staff will provide a brief presentation on this item.
Thank you, Chair. So planning a 5K fun run event, staff recommends that the commission conduct the study session and review and offer feedback on the planning for this event. On June 25th, the Parks and Recreation Commission formed an ad hoc subcommittee to support the planning of this event. Included in that ad hoc committee is Chair Lee and Commissioners Patel and Van Buren. The ad hoc subcommittee met with city staff twice now. On July 8th, the group met to discuss the dates, potential dates for the event and potential routes. 5 different routes were looked into as potential routes, starting from Bellhaven or including Bellhaven, and we definitely wanted to include Bayfront neighborhoods. The start and finish would include the Bedwell Bayfront, and the tentative dates that were looked at were in both April and May of 2026. Following the July 8th meeting, staff brought the potential routes to additional city staff from Public Works, the Police Department, and Emergency Services for feedback. 2 of the potential routes were identified as preferred options, and the reasons for those were safety, staff time, and just general accessibility. The ad hoc committee also met on August 12th to review the tentative event date, the route, the audience, the theme, and potential sponsors. Tentative date of April 19th, 2026 is being looked at. The ad hoc committee also recommended a route that begins, which is the one showing here, begins at Bellhaven Community Campus, continues through Bellhaven neighborhood, continues around a section of Bevel Bayfront Park, and concludes at Bellhaven Community Campus. The intent of the event is to welcome the Menlo Park community with a fun outdoor activity that also is accessible to families, strollers, walkers, and wheelchairs. Potential themes include superheroes or STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. The ad hoc subcommittee and staff also discussed potential for inviting event sponsors to help support the cost of the event. The future planning topics include participant capacity, sponsorship goals, funding totals, and staff and volunteer needs. The next meetings will be on September 8th, October 14th, November 11th, and December 9th. Ashley's showing the template route that we discussed there. So yeah, we're happy to take comments and feedback regarding just the general planning and, you know, the ad hoc committee. Please feel free to share your thoughts thus far.
Yeah, so the event is materializing. I think we have pretty good idea of where the route will be. Definitely gonna focus not only the Meta Bridge, but also Bedwell Bayfront. I think right now, if Trisha, if you could kind of clarify, this proposed route seems new, where the start and terminus is Meta Park.
I'm possible.
This was the one
But
that
this is
starting,
the second.
that starts at Bellhaven.
Yeah, this is the one on page 2. And this is the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's unless there's an update, are there 2 options in there?
So the one that we most recently discussed as being the most viable option is the second one, that the first one that Ashley was showing. And it doesn't go, it goes kind of around a section of that well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that takes the Meta Park Bridge over.
Okay, so the one above this is proposed route, and then there's alternate, so this is what.
I think they're the same route. I think this one just had the bottom cropped up. Or is it?
Yeah, it doesn't include Bellhaven Community Center, so,
so the first one on
Oh,
the
yeah.
alternate is the one that we were looking at.
okay,
Yeah.
so, okay, got it,
Those are the final 2 that we discussed.
got it, no change, yeah. Well, we also discussed,
The one at
Flood Park, but I think
that was out.
we're not doing, definitely not doing that, okay, got it.
That's a shame, because the Flood Park route does have a little piece that goes down Van Buren Street. And I was looking forward to that route.
Sorry, Ashley, do we have any public comment on this side before we dive into discussion?
Sorry. Are there any public comments for item D1? No public comment.
Okay, thank you. With that, public comment is closed. Do any commissioners have questions about plan for the application?
I do.
Okay.
Following our meeting on August 12th, I took it upon myself to do the route. The second one that we were looking at that starts at Bellhaven, which was the alternative. And that route, the Bedwell Bayfront part of that route, presents a couple challenges. First is on that southern line of Bedwell Bayfront Park. It's kind of like the longest straight section. The line that is drawn on this route, you see there's like a tiny little like canal type thing that has water in it. The route that they have there, you can pass it to it, it's that photo and that photo. There's a fence, it's fenced off and the fence has a gate. And inside of that fence is like kind of like a tall reedy type grass that looks pretty robust, so there would have to be a decent amount of work to make that appropriate to run on. It's just like tall grass, and some trucks, you can tell some trucks are driven down there, but it doesn't seem to be a path that's normally open to the public. So I don't know how realistic that is. Now, just south of that, there's that little like canal type runoff thing. Just south of that, there is pavement, but the pavement there has a lot of large cracks in it. That would not be good for a running event, because if someone steps in there, it would be bad. So there are some like steel plates over some of the bigger ones, but there are some pretty big cracks in there. So we would have to look at having that repaved also. And maybe we should, because the pavement is pretty cracked. Once we get above that very bottom section, we'll start on the right. The right part is paved, smooth, beautiful, great.
Can you actually walk up just to?
Yeah, sure, I'll show them. So this part right here, from this dot all the way up to this dot, shouldn't touch the screen, that's where the gates are at both ends. And it's fenced off, and this is all filled with water. So this is all filled with water, inside of the shade. It's beautiful, great, lots of birds, very nice. But so that's fenced off, and that's where the really tall grass is, and it's kind of like a raised berm that goes down there, so it's like kind of slopes on either side. This here, going along the road, is where the pavement is, and it's all cracked up, and there's like a lot of deep, large cracks in it. This here is all paved, slightly. Yeah, smooth, nice, and maybe going up there would be better. This part, might be tough for strollers. Some strollers, if they have like a nice stroller that has big tires, would be great. Someone with a running stroller that has some sort of like suspension or something would be fine, but for some strollers, it could be a little more difficult, rocky, bumpy. Yeah. There's a section here that has some ruts in it, it's like a dirt path, and trucks are driven through there with this weather, I think. But those are my thoughts. The biggest problem with this. This part is great. The continuation up there is beautiful. That mostly smooth, but a little bumpier for strollers perhaps.
Yeah, I guess this is a question for Cheryl, since Harrison and Keith aren't here. Have they reviewed the path beforehand? Yeah,
Harrison, reviewed,
actually walked it just like.
Harrison ran it, last Wednesday this time, so
Okay.
he said there was a space or two that was concerning, but we can potentially go back out and take a look and see from a staff perspective, you know,
Yeah.
what that looks like, and then see if there's another potential route that's inclusive of Bellhaven
Yeah.
and Bedwell, just to, we'll try that before we come back to the ad hoc committee.
Yeah, and did he actually mean the highway path or that's what I'm confused about, but, maybe, okay. And who owns that path, that is the one closest to 84, the highway?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that, but we can definitely look into it and find out if it's something that the city has responsibility for, we can see if Public Works can take a look at it.
Yeah,
Makes
especially in Bedwell, I mean, Public Works, there's maintenance on Bedwell, right, so.
Yeah.
Maybe they can smooth out something.
Yeah, we can definitely get them involved in the conversation.
Okay. So I guess, Justin, it's not not doable.
No, it's not doable.
They need to be fixed.
There would be some maintenance that would need to happen.
Yeah.
And then the one part that is gated off, that was my concern, it's like, that, are we able to open that? And if so, then there would have to be maintenance done. Otherwise, there's the paved section, which is right off 84. That could happen, but that would have to be repaved before we could have a city sponsored running event on it, because the pavement, I think, is, if you have people run jogging 4 wide, someone's gonna step in a hole.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can report back. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
And I'm sorry to interrupt, but if I read correctly, it's also meant to be ADA or wheelchair accessible.
Correct.
And it doesn't sound like some parts of this are, or,
I think they are. It would just be a little bumpy.
Yeah, some of the paths are gravel, sand, and we are thinking about what if it rains that weekend, it's gonna create some issues. But at the same time, so I mean, any route we choose is ultimately gonna be a compromise. This one kind of features the community center as well as Bayfront, Bedwell Bayfront, which kind of like the two main attractions that Menlo Park controls. And it goes right through Meta, obviously, you know. So I think it's ideal, but yeah, Public Works feedback, yeah.
Great.
Well, any other comments? Moving on to regular business, we have item E1, approval of the July 23rd, 2025 meeting minutes. Ashley, do you have any public comment on this item?
Are there any public comments on item E1? No public comment.
Thank you. With that, public comment is closed. Would any commissioner like to make a motion to approve those minutes?
Is there a second?
I said,
There's a motion. There's a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the July 23rd, 2025 meeting. Commissioner Hopkins, how do you vote?
Approved.
Chair Lee,
Approved.
Commissioner Sherman,
approved.
and Commissioner Van Buren.
Approved.
The motion passes.
The next item is item E2, a regular business item, or city hosted events, city hosted community events and services planned for 2026. Staff will provide a brief presentation on this item.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, so the recommendation here is that the commission review and offer feedback on the city hosted community events planned in 2025-2026, and there is a tentative schedule in your packet in on attachment A. With that, just a little bit of background, on August 13th, 2024, City Council held a study session about community events planned for 24-25 and previewed proposed updates to the event sponsorship policy. On August 27th, council adopted a resolution updating the event sponsorship policy. For this topic, there is a definition and scope. Tonight, we're solely focused on city-hosted events or event series that are intended for a citywide audience. Many of the large-scale events are associated with widely celebrated holidays, civic observances, youth initiatives, and local traditions. The city also hosts smaller scale events. That is not part of this report for tonight. With that, the schedule is up, the tentative schedule. The schedule of events planned for fiscal year 2025-26, organized by the department. And Ashley is showing that here. Some of those events include the 4th of July parade, a circus, and community picnic. Among the larger community events the city produces each year, this event features a community picnic, parade, and circus at Burgess Park. The parade goes down Alma Street, includes vehicles from Menlo Park Police Department, Menlo Park Fire Protection District, and American Medical Response, with many of the squirrel mascot and community members with decorated bikes, wagons, and strollers. Circus Bella was here this year and is confirmed to perform 2 free shows on portable circus ring. So that is the 4th of July event. Summer concert series. The summer concert series provides musical performances weekly during the peak summer months, alternating between the Fremont Park and Carl E. Clark Park. Concerts are about 90 minutes long and feature local bands selected through an open submission process conducted in winter each year. City provides stage, sound, and promotional support. The performers bring the music and the residents bring out their own blankets and chairs. The event is intended to be casual. Moving on to Halloween. Halloween kind of starts up the holiday season and shop local efforts. Halloween kicks off with the traditional Halloween parade and carnival on the Saturday before Halloween. The event features family-oriented costumes parading down Santa Cruz Avenue, including the Menlo Park Middle School Marching Band, typically, who leads the way, followed by the Halloween Carnival event at Fremont Park. It also featured themes, candies, kid-friendly performers, and merchant trick-or-treat, in which local merchants offer candy to trick-or-treaters. The event is followed by a pumpkin splash on that Sunday, where residents can sign up to participate in a floating pumpkin patch at the Bellhaven and Burgess pools. Halloween concludes with the trunk or treat, which is a safe and fun way for families to enjoy trick or treating, and instead of going from door to door, they go car to car, and that is hosted at the Bellhaven Community Campus. Shop local, light up the season, a festive gathering to ring in the holiday season and promote shop local initiatives for people of all ages and walks of life. Notable features of this event include family-friendly entertainment performances by Menlo Park youth, winter photo opportunities for hot cocoa, and lighting of the big oak tree and sidewalk trees surrounding the park. Photos with Santa. This event provides a community-oriented experience for children and families for casual, fun photo opportunity with the North Pole's most famous inhabitant at the Bellhaven Community Campus. This includes breakfast, family-friendly winter-themed activities, and the opportunity for selfies with Santa. Black Liberation Month celebration, a community-oriented event celebrating the past, present, and future Black Americans with a day of education, cultural remembrance. Notable elements include paying respect to local heroes of the Bellhaven community and nearby communities, inspiring words of strength, triumph, and resilience, showcasing local talent, and telling the story of how Black people have risen out of oppression. There's an educational component to this event. The Egg Hunt and Spring Festival, traditional springtime event, celebrates the start of spring, renewal, and natural rural family and community togetherness. Elements include treasure hunts for eggs, including outdoor egg hunts by age group, indoor egg hunts for those 4 years and under, and a calmer, sensory-friendly egg hunt for neurodiverse young children. There's also a spring festival with family activities, petting zoo, photos with the Big Bunny, and related attractions. The event is free for residents and $5 for non-residents with advanced registration. Youth Poetry Voices, this event elevates and showcases Menlo Park youth literacy and creative expressions by inviting Menlo Park students grades 2 through 12 to create original work. The features include family-friendly reception, acknowledging the students. Featured youth poets reading their poems at city council meeting. And a commemorative printed poetry booklet featuring selected poems. Juneteenth celebration, nationally celebrated commemoration of the ending of slavery in the United States. The event celebrates African American freedom and emphasizes education and achievement. The event is co-led by Bellhaven community-based organizations. Features include local vendors, nonprofits from the community hosting information and locally created merchandise booths, civic observances and celebrations of Juneteenth and its enduring significance in American history. Other events that were hosted last year were the Flyway Trail opening, Love Our Earth Festival, and National Night Out. In addition to the proposed dates for this coming year, we do have some data in your package of the attendance for these events this last year. And we also have some information about sponsorships and what partners have been sponsored. There has been support for some of these events that showcase everything that's happening in Menlo Park. Specifically, the rentals for the 2025 Carl E. Clark Summer Concerts were provided by Westlake Sanitary District, and Cheeky Monkey supplied some of the supplies for toys at 4th of July. And that concludes the report. Any feedback on dates and the events?
I guess one question I have is, are there like large events that for whatever reason have not made this list? In terms of, has staff had to choose between photos with Santa versus, I don't know, Thanksgiving celebration instead, you know?
Yeah, I don't know that there's been a choice. I think what has happened more recently is after COVID, events came back online. And those were the events that, you know, happened in the past that went well, that we were able to bring back. The choices around what events I don't have that background information, but I imagine it's just the events that have gone well. And the events that the community is interested in seeing in Menlo Park.
So it seems like this year, 2025, 26, these are largely continuing what was done in 2024, right? Are there ideas of adding to this schedule by chance?
I think what we see on the list is what, you know, we're potentially going to be going with as far as these large scale community events, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just wondering if the community, I take my family out to July, every event that I can, and it's great, you guys put on a great show, it's awesome. So you just want more of what's good, so, yeah, yeah. It was interesting, if there's like a budget that needs to be considered, that maybe the commission can advocate for increasing. Or whether it's meant, you know, I guess it all kind of comes down to the budget, but.
Yeah, so there's definitely budget involved, and I know that it is, you know, it did go to council, but. If there's a new event that's of interest to the community, we would have to definitely look at the budget and see, you know, if it's a viable option and.
I think a Thanksgiving event would be amazing, getting seniors together, the youth. Maybe getting the youth to volunteer to, you know, serve the food, would be a great way to kind of bring the community together, I think. Yeah, that's the, a bigger discussion. Yeah, the commission can have there. Any other comments?
I appreciate the data inclusion. Very good. Other than that, no. It is doing great. The events have been wonderful. That's fun. I appreciate the the county.
Okay, moving on, to item E3, a regular business item to review the Parks and Recreation Commission Park Tour Report Out form. Staff will provide a brief presentation on this item as well.
So Ashley's pulling up the form, I believe, yeah. So, this item is coming to you for review and, feedback, and it is the draft Parks and Recreation Commission Park Tour Report Out form. So inclusive in the, draft work plan for the Parks and Recreation Commission is an item for the Parks and Rec Commission members to participate in self-guided tours of city parks and report back to the commission as a whole. So city staff has developed a draft form for the commission to look at. Couple of additional things, there are 14 public parks in the city of Menlo Park. And those are listed there with the addresses for each of the park. Additional information about each of the city operated parks is available on the parks website. Other public access parks not operated by the city of Menlo Park include Flood Park, which is operated by the city of San Mateo, the county of San Mateo, and Meta Park that's operated by Meta Platforms. So if we want to just walk through this form. It's pretty basic. So you would just capture, which commissioner was filling out the form. What park was visited. The date of the park visit. Time of the visit. Number of park goers enjoying the park during the visit. And then what amenities are available for park. What amenities are being used. The general condition of the park, and then some pre-form, what's your favorite part of the tour, and then some suggestions from the commissioner. So that's the draft form.
Does this site allow for, I'm sorry. Shoot, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Sorry, Ashley, do we have any public comment on this item?
Are there any public comments on item E2?
E3,
Oh, E3.
sorry, I can skip that.
No public comment.
I had a question about this form. Do we have the ability to attach media to it,
Yeah.
photos and video?
Not video, but like a PDF or photo, yes.
A PDF? What about like images?
Yes, as long as it's below a certain.
Yeah, size, okay.
Yes.
I think those, they might tell a better story than just text, so, yeah.
Another option would be to just send them to us separately. If there was something we wanted to compile, you could always email them to us.
Email
This
staff.
is for my,
Yeah.
for the part two where I went on, we'll find it and match it up if it's too large.
Okay.
I didn't know we had this. This is new.
It's me.
Oh.
Yeah, I think the form is bare bones, but I think
That's what you
when
want.
we go on these tours, we should just do our best effort to kind of, report, take a snapshot of the park in as much as we can with pictures, video, all of that. But good stuff. Does anyone have feedback on the form? Okay, moving on to item F1. Library and Community Services Department statistics and recent activities. Staff also has a presentation on this item.
Thank you. Great, so our monthly report out on all of our activities, just a few items here for you to review and provide feedback. Heritage Tree Scavenger Hunt. The city of Menlo Park has 19,000 public trees. Some of the largest, most magnificent trees are found in the public parks. So from September 1st to 22nd, we are inviting the community to engage in a scavenger hunt for all of these trees, and it's available to all ages. Participants can search for heritage tree tags hidden in the neighborhood parks, with an opportunity to explore, learn, and connect with nature in their backyards. There is a chance to win a fruit tree. More details are available on the city website. Our partners with Public Works are having an open house on September 27th. The event is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the courtyard at 333 Burgess Drive. The event will host some of the work that the Public Works does and sharing about their team. Community members are invited to enjoy their family-friendly activities or learn more about the city programs and services. Public Works Department manages capital improvement projects and ongoing maintenance and repair of city public facilities and parks. More details are available online. Modified hours for staff training on August 25th and 26th. So this last Monday and Tuesday, the department held staff training for ratified defend or fight training. One was hosted at the Belhaven Community Campus and one was hosted at the main library. It's important to kind of continue our skills and learn to be effective in responding to these types of events. So just want to acknowledge that. Very exciting, again, for its second year, Steph Curry's basketball camp was held at the Ariana Family Gymnasium. The city hosted a 3-day basketball camp in August featuring the Golden State Warriors star, Steph Curry. Camp Curry youth basketball camp selected our location. The commercial rate was paid for this use as designated in the city's master fee schedule. The camp was held during the end of the summer lull in the gym schedule. Let's see, and this was an excellent opportunity for us to highlight the facility, and that it's a testament to the excellence of the city's gym facility and the professionalism of the library community services recreation team to handle all the heightened security discretion required for this event. And this event was featured in the San Francisco Chronicle. Very exciting. Next, Park Ranger Services Agreement authorized by City Council on August 12th. City Council authorized the city manager to enter into an agreement with San Jose Convention Corps for Ranger Services for a term of 1 year. The agreement for services will be focused on Bedwell Bayfront Park for the first year with an option to extend the agreement for 3 additional 1-year terms. If the extension does happen, it could potentially include expansion services to additional parks. Staff is currently in the process of finalizing the agreement details. More information to come and services to begin fall 2025. Monthly statistical report reformatting. Staff is under process of updating the formatting for the statistical reports to include new statistics and new user-friendly elements. So that's to come in September. Recreation classes fall 2025. The department offers a range of seasonal activities to support lifelong learning, enrichment, health, and community connection for people of all ages and abilities. Enrollment began and open to residents August 9th, to non-residents August 13th, and that was through our activity guide. As of August 20th, we had 1,619 residents and 404 non-residents enrolled in our classes. New electric cargo van now in service. Library Community Services, with the support of Public Works Fleet Division, has a new all-electric cargo van. You may see it on the streets. The new cargo van is used for transporting supplies, materials, and equipment in between sites to various sites. The van has a colorful graphic wrap on both sides and the rear that promote recreation on one side and library on the other side. Design is playful and with a focus on families. The van is also equipped with flashing lights on the roof and a built-in public address system. The van is intended to be used at the upcoming holiday parade or Halloween parade, carnival, and trunk or treat in October. And the van has been in service for a few weeks. I'm excited.
Ashley, do we have any public comment on this item?
Are there any public comments on this item? It's for item F1. No public comment.
I have a very envious question about how was the statutory?
That's the same thing.
So I saw pictures and video of it, but
How was it?
Yeah, how'd it go?
I think it went really well. I haven't heard any other comments. I being here in my office, I think that it was super dynamic and, they used a good amount of the spaces, so it was nice to have the energy around. Otherwise, I think staff's just really professional and really supportive of having to do the work to make sure that we can host such a huge, person event, so it's great.
Is there a particular reason they selected us for the second year that you know?
We just hear that Steph Curry likes the convenience of this location.
Understand. Looks like the park ranger also got selected, so that's great news. Do you know their start date?
And we're still doing negotiations right now, their contract, we're gonna be doing a walkthrough, I believe next week sometime, maybe. No, it's coming up very quickly here, but, after that, I think it's 2 months until the previous agreement is done. But I don't quote me on that. Yeah, just fall 2025 when we're ready to get that going and when they're ready, so we had an initial meeting with them last week.
Gotcha. I've also seen those heritage tree posts. Is that an event that I guess which department is something about that?
I'm here with who's hosting that. Ashley, do you know?
I think it's Joanne Chen.
It's a great extension.
Yeah, I was wondering if those posts are permanent or will they be going away once this event concludes?
Great question.
It's good to, there was, the blurb, if anyone hasn't seen these posts, it shows the name and type of tree and then the amount of carbon offset in a dollar amount, so there's just interesting facts, yeah.
She's in the woodworks.
So is that facilitated by Parks and Recreation or Public Works? It's just
How
that
it
they,
works.
okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
good questions, and we can find out about the posts and the poster in Harmony, if they're gonna. They exist because of the event.
Any other comments? Good.
Yeah.
Last item is F2, the tentative agenda calendar.
Great. It's opening. Thanks, Ashley. Yes.
Okay.
We'll see them.
Yes.
Okay. So looking to September, potentially having another presentation on the community events. Proper accreditation, progress report, presentation, from Bedwell Bay from Frenzo. And then just the monthly updates from the ad hoc committee on the big one coming up in October is tennis pickleball updates and Parks and Recreation Facility Master Plan review. And then so any feedback, ready to talk?
Do we want to talk about the natural growth thing?
Would that tie in with the facility master plan review? Would that know what would be a good time to do it. It seems like if we haven't added more to the schedule for that meeting, that could be a good time.
Are you talking, are you guys discussing the turf, artificial turf versus natural grass?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we could talk about it anytime if you guys wanted to, but I think, the idea was. Let's bring these presentations when we have an upcoming capital project, so that. Those discussions can inform
Big capital project.
the actual field that
Sure.
are chosen.
Mhm.
But right now, Kelly Park is the only one under going renovation, and it's already an artificial turf. And I think, I don't know, you guys are already planned to replace the material already, so it's hard to kind of decide to all of a sudden change that to natural grass.
Sure.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I imagine contracts are already signed.
Yeah, and I think it's been delayed 3 times because of the solar panels, so. Again, that project is gone, it's already set, it's already underway. But for anything. That in the future, we should definitely consider it if the commission so desires, and offer feedback to the city council and staff about what our thoughts are on. Yeah. I think one thing that's missing though, Trisha, is discussion about aquatics.
Okay. See, do we have?
It would be interesting to do that when we get the summer data as well.
Yeah, well, especially maybe even an update from Team Cheaper, maybe their numbers are in green now with summer attendance, I'm not sure.
You put that tentatively down for aquatics and see kind of where we are with things and where it's a good time to just look at that, but their annual report is also something we want to make sure they have done, so that it's
Yeah,
part of
yeah,
the
yeah.
conversation.
And I haven't heard any updates on the aquatics issue. Have there been?
Weren't you recently in city council?
Yeah, there was an item that went to council last night, update on our fees, and it passed over. The video,
Updates, okay.
the video is available.
Gotcha, yeah, okay. In terms of anything to address hours of service,
Not at this time, no.
okay.
There's potentially tentatively, I think, a study session or an item that's gonna be going back in September for those things.
How do you guys feel about the agenda? I mean, it's pretty, I feel like we have other items on. But
There's some unscheduled future topics. Down below, or remove some of the specific ones.
Right.
When does the act start?
They start in September, very early stages.
I see.
Kind of aligns with the school year.
Yeah, one thing that maybe we could think about scheduling, or at least getting on the agenda, is having the liaison come to a meeting. The agenda is pretty open right now, so is that something staff would do, or do you?
Yeah, we could do it one of the 2 ways. We could have staff come back, but I think that there's, you know, from the perspective of the commission, wanted to hear from the youth directly, so we can talk to staff, the staff liaisons to see if they can come in and go over up.
Right, so the act is one thing, I was discussing city council liaison, so.
Oh, sure, the invite to,
Yeah, so both are pretty meaty things, I would think they would take a lot of time for, they deserve to be in the separate meeting.
sure. Yeah, I think we can, I put down the invite to the council liaison. And we'll see when that would work best for the council member.
It's like,
And then I forget what we landed on for the updates, but we definitely wanted to do that more frequently, so. We'll find out when the next time they could come in would be, so probably October would be the earliest, but more like November.
Yeah, you have thoughts?
I have a question. I don't know if it's something that even would fall to Parks and Rec and or the Library Commission, and I can really only speak from what I see here in this park, so I don't know if it's something that even impacts other parks in Menlo Park. But are we partnered with any social service agencies for, unhoused individuals or folks living in their cars in these parks and that also use the facilities, which are such great resources for them, but, being outreach in that way for some folks so that they know resources are available should they want to seek out a different way of life, and in particular, just here in this park, there are a few people that do live in their cars. There was one in particular that I've seen her since removed. But then there are others, and I believe it has compassion and empathy for these folks, but I don't know if we partner with agencies like a Life Moves or something of that sort, to do outreach for these folks to let them know of options available to them.
Yeah, we definitely are building our awareness around that for community services. As far as providing the resources and information, we're not necessarily part of that at this point. I think we would be the department that kind of supports that effort, at this time, so, yeah. Mhm.
If any other comments? Okay, moving on to the last item, we have individual commissioner reports. Would any commissioner like to make a short report out on items of interest to the commission?
I would. I had a resident reach out to me a couple weeks ago, asking about community garden options in the city of Menlo Park. And I directed them to the one in Bellahaven that was operated by the Rotary Club using Menlo Park municipal land. The city's owned, the land is owned by City of Menlo Park. And they went by and it was gated, and I sent an email and reached out through the ways that were available for them to reach out, and after a couple weeks, still had not heard a response. So I wasn't sure if that was still something that was operational. And I know that, we are nearing really the end of the growing season for a lot of things that people might grow in a community garden. I imagine citrus trees and stuff are harder to do in that unless you have a way to make sure that you could be there year over year. But I think that community gardens are a great resource for people. And if that is currently the only option available, I would like to explore maybe opportunities for us to provide more community gardens for residents going forward.
I just made a note to check into the Rotary and see if that is operable at this time, and where we are, and then I added on my list, the community garden.
Yeah, I don't know what city owned land in what parts of the city would make sense for that. But I think if that's something that would be feasible to get that kind of like work over that over the winter, and I'm sure Public Works would be involved in a lot of that, whatnot. But to be able to be like, hey, look, we have 3 new community gardens. We have one in West Menlo Park, one in Central Menlo Park, one in East, and they're opening in the spring. And you can get over there if they were. I think that'd be really cool. And I think that people might be really into that. There are a lot of real estate is not cheap here. So people don't always have the opportunity to do that where they live. And I think it would be great. Secondly, I don't know what's going on with the water at Fremont Park, but the current state of the grass And the bushes that were at the corner of University and Santa Cruz that had beautiful purple flowers makes me sad. A couple residents also spoke to me about that. They had these beautiful purple flowers and they were nice bushes and most of them are pretty dead, so. I heard that the individual who planted them had been going back a couple times to personally water them. I don't know if they fixed the watering and set the timer up so they would water them every night.
Yeah.
But, you know, Fremont Park is kind of like a park where we host a lot of our activities. And I feel that it should be vibrant and green and luscious.
Got it. Then I'll look into that. Back to the water.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think it was mentioned. The. The water scheduler was broken,
Yes,
which led to the concert being affected,
yes,
and then they turned it off completely.
to the point where they had to go out to do it manually.
Right, so I thought they
We can
purchased
get
it.
an update for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Any other reports? If not, meeting is adjourned at 7:39 PM.
Thank you, Chair.